All right then. So now all we have to do is to close all these up. Close it. Close it. I'm going to create a new project folder over here called for UI. And let's create a new file over here called index.html. Let's create a new folder called CSS. And let's create a new file called styles.css. Jump into the index.html. I am going to bring the boilerplate code and let's link /css styles.css, right? And if I refresh it, I should be able to see the for UI folder and jump into here. So now let's structure the frame first. So here we are going to create a unique button UI, which you normally don't see just by using a plain CSS with the basic CSS properties, right? So I'm going to create an anchor tag, and for the hyperlink, I'm going to use the hash and name the class as the fancy button. Fancy. Let's keep it as fancy. Then I'm going to bring myself the span tag. Span. We're going to have four sub elements inside the anchor tag called four different span with a different CSS class with top key. Then span dot text, which is going to carry on the text value. Let's say buy tickets. Then span dot bottom key. Then span dot bottom key 1, something like this. All right, so now we have this loaded properly, and let's jump into the styles.css. Okay, so here what we are going to do is I'm just going to target all the elements, say margin as 0, padding as 0, box sizing as border box. Then let's target the body tag. Let's open it. Let's say width, we need to target the 100 viewport width, and height, we need to target the 100 viewport height. Then let's say display as flex, align items as center, and justify the content as the center. So this will bring the entire content both vertically and horizontally in the center locations. And I'm going to change the background color into hash E8, E8, E8. Save the change. Perfect. And now all we have to do is to target the fancy. So I'm just going to copy the fancy, copy it. Let's say dot fancy, open it. So first, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure the background is the transparent background. I'm not going to give any specific color. Then I'm going to specify the border, which is going to be 2 pixels, solid black color, like this. Then I'm gonna bring the colors and cursors and the pointers and everything. So border radius, so let's keep it as 3 pixels, not more than that. Then I'm gonna bring the box shadow. Okay, we don't need the shadow for this. Let's bring the color, which is going to be the white color. Don't worry, because we can change the text color by targeting that specific span tag in that element. Okay, border radius, box sizings, and colors. And let's change the cursor into the pointer, so that will be changed. And display, which is going to be inline block display. Okay, which needs to occupy the complete available space in that single line. Then float the text in the right side. Right after that, we can fix the font weight. What is the font weight? It needs to be, let's give the font weight as 700, not more than that, 700. And the letter spacing, which is going to be 0.05 em. Then margin, of course, it's going to be 0. Since we already specified the margin 0 over there, it's not necessary. So I need to say outline as none. Then overflow needs to be visible. Then let's increase the padding a bit. Padding top and bottom, it's going to be 1.25 em, and left and right it's going to be 2 em, which, okay, it looks like this. Then I'm gonna make sure the position has the relative position, because we're gonna have a multiple absolute layers on top of this anchor tag. So position needs to be relative, and the text align needs to be line needs to be always in the center location. Then text decoration needs to be none, so you don't see that underline anymore. Perfect. And then text transform is going to be none. Okay, either you can keep it as an uppercase, a lowercase, or capitalized. That's up to you. Okay, but for the anchor tag, I'm going to keep the text transform as none. But for the specific tag, span tag, I can change the transformations. Then transitions, all 0.3 seconds ease in out. Then user select, which is going to be none, because if the user tries to select these, he is not supposed to select the text. Then font size, which is going to be 14 pixels. That's how it looks. Okay, now let's target the pseudo element of this. So let's say dot fancy colon before. Okay, so if I do the inspect elements, let me bring it on the right hand side, and let me stretch out, and you can see here. And if I expand the anchor tag, so for this anchor tag, we are targeting the pseudo elements. So let's write some styles so you can able to see. So if I save this, let's say for this, let me write something over here, then I can show you. Position is going to be absolute, then content, which is going to be ABC or something. Okay, and now we can see the pseudo element over there before. And if I click this, you can see what is the content that we do have, and you can see somehow the text has been overlapped on that first word, right? But in this case, I'm not going to display any content. I'm going to keep it as an empty one. Then the width, which is going to be 1.57 rem. Okay, then height, which is going to be 2 pixels. And then background color, it's going to be hash 000. So you should be able to see that backline. Then now we need to make sure that it's placed properly in its specific location. So from the top, I'm going to push it 50% down. Now it's in the exact center location, right? Since we are moving only on the top, so we need to adjust the transformation y-axis angles and everything. So let's say transform, translate y minus 50%. So this makes sure that the layer will not move anywhere, even if you're shrinking or expanding it. Okay, then let's move it from the left side of it. I'm going to move it 1.5 eminent points em. Okay, and the transformation origin, that always needs to be from the center. And then transition, so whenever I'm making some transitions, I need to make the changes on the background, which is 0.3 seconds linear, and for the width property also 0.3 seconds linear. Save it. These are all the properties for the before. And now all we have to do is to target the next, which is the text area. So let's target that text. So fancy dot text, let's open it, and inside over here, let's say font size of the text, which is going to be 1.125 eminent points. So now we can see it's a little bit bigger. Then I'm just going to say line height, which of course it's going to be 1.33 eminent points. Right after here, I'm going to say from the padding left corner, I'm going to push it further. So let's say 2 em. So that's how it looks. Then display, of course, it's going to be block. Then text align always needs to be from the left side. Come on, text align needs to be left side. Then the transitions, it's going to be all 0.3 seconds ease in out. Then right after here, text transform needs to be in the uppercase. So that's how it looks. Then the text decoration, it needs to be none. Anyways, we already changed for the entire anchor tag, but here I specified one more time, and the text color needs to be this. That's how it looks. Okay. It might look like a normal button with a border, but at the end of the result, it gives you the classic and little animated button that that makes the viewers to wonder how did they create this. See, let's wait for the output. So let's create the dot fancy, and let's target this top key, dot top key. Open it. So height of this top key is going to be 2 pixels, and the width of this it's going to be 1.56 rem. Then I'm gonna make sure the background color, which is exactly the same color of it. Currently you can't see that, but when I make the alignments, so I need to push it minus 2 pixels on the top. So then on the left side I'm going to make it like 0.625 rem. Still I can't see. The reason is because I haven't specified the position of it, so position needs to be the absolute position. If I save it, now you should be able to see that the white layer is fixed on over here. Okay, then we are going to target the bottom key and the bottom key one. So I'm going to say copy this dot fancy dot bottom key, open it. So here I'm just going to say position as an absolute one and the height as the 2 pixels one, and width of course it's going to be 1.56 rem. And but this time instead of left positions I'm going to make sure to move it on the right side, so 87 rem. And from the instead of top I'm going to say bottom minus 2 pixels. Okay, and the background color which is going to be the exact same color of this, so you should be able to see that over there. Okay, so now we need to add the transitions for the both top key and the bottom key. So I'm just going to say transitions. Let's say width, which is going to be 0.5 seconds ease out. Then for the left position 0.3 seconds ease out. So just like the same way, I'm going to say transitions width, of course it's going to be 0.5 seconds ease out. Then right, which is going to be 0.3 seconds ease out. That's the bottom key. And let's target the fancy dot bottom key one, open it. It's going to be the same position, which is going to be the absolute height. It's going to be same 2 pixels, and width, this time width is going to be a little bit smaller. So let's say 0.625 rem. And from the right side onwards the position, which is going to be 0.625 rem. And from the bottom I'm going to say minus 2 pixels, and the background color which is going to be the exactly the same color of it. So that's how it looks. You can see that's how it looks. And we are going to do the same transition effects. So let's say transitions width, of course it's going to be 0.5 seconds ease out. Then right, of course it's going to be 0.3 seconds ease out. Save it. Okay, now it like look like a normal button, but you can see the UI, it's quite unique now. It's simply a plain border with the absolute span tags over there, but when you're trying to animate it, it looks stunning. So let's say dot fancy colon hover. So whenever I'm hovering it, I'm going to change the text color into the white color and the background color into the black color. That's how. Okay, something like this. Then right after here I'm going to say fancy colon hover. We are going to target the pseudo element, which is the before. So for this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to fix the width as 0.9375 rem. Then the background color, which is going to be white color. Okay, something like this. See, you can see the width of this line. On the black color it's a little bit bigger, but on the white it's a little bit smaller. So this animating a little bit, it looks so smooth. Now I need to, whenever I'm hovering it, I need to bring the text a little bit left and right combo. So that's the right thing that we're trying to do. So let's say dot fancy space dot text, open it. For this we're going to change the color into white color, and the padding left, we need to adjust the padding left, which is going to be 1.5 rem. So now when I hover it, that's how it looks. We are missing, it needs to be on hover. See, that's how it looks. Perfect. Then we need to target the top key. Let's say dot fancy colon hover dot top key. Open it. We need to say left minus 2 pixels, and then width, of course, it's going to be 0. Now, if I stretch it out, you can't see that line anymore when we are hovering it, but when you drop it, you should be able to see that. We have to do the same stuff for dot bottom key, then dot fancy colon hover dot bottom key 1. For both of this, I'm going to say right, of course, it's going to be 0, and width, of course, it's going to be 0. So that's how it looks. Okay. And for this, we can add some box shadow itself. Let's say 2 pixels, 2 pixels, 10 pixels, RGBA 000 and 0.09, something like this. Okay, so you have the mild materialistic looking button, and it's animating quite neatly without any external animation stuff. Just by using this hover and transition effects, we created ourselves a nice stunning looking button. Okay, stun looking button or whatever. It's looking cool, right? So let's move on to the next section.